Welcome to Smart Agri Academy. I am Veerendra. I have secured a gold medal in my BSc AG for securing highest OGPA in all the agronomy subjects, and I have received 2 gold medals in MSc for topping all the agronomy subjects and among all the other departments. So in this Smart Agri Academy, we have various ranges of sample test series. From each topic, we have handpicked some bits which are very important for the examination point of view. And now I am going to deal with this agronomy. We have taken some important topics, and from each topic I have covered a few bits. So let us see how it goes on. So the first most important topic is historical developments in agriculture. So here the first question is Amarkosha book. It was written during the period of Chandragupta. So ikkada manam Chandragupta ani chadivi వదిలేస్తాం. Then we need to see whether if it is 1 or 2. Chandragupta 1 or 2 అనేది మనం చూడాలన్నమాట. So the answer is it was written during the period of Chandragupta 2. This Amarkosha, this gives details regarding soil, irrigation implements, so it gives details regarding soil and irrigation implements. So in the lecture called Historical Developments in Agriculture, in this academy we have covered various historical aspects that happened in agriculture, such as there is another book called Krishi Parasharam. It was written by Maharshi Parashara. So all these kind of important historical events were covered in this Smart Agri Academy lectures. So the next question is first domesticated animal. So which is the first domesticated animal? Here the answer is sheep. It was domesticated during 8000 BC. So the next domesticated animal was goat. It is during 7000 BC, and horses were tamed during 2000 BC. So like this, the lineage of events, these things were also covered in our lecture series. The next one is the first ever cultivated crops are. So what are the first crops that were ever cultivated? So the answer is wheat and barley. These two are cereals. So these are the cereals were the first crops that were cultivated. So if you see rice, it was cultivated during 2000 BC. But wheat and barley are oldest crops. They were cultivated around 8000 BC. And if we see the horticultural crop, this potato is the oldest horticultural crop that is ever cultivated. The next question is crops like potato, chilies, tomato, papaya, pumpkin, tobacco, cashew nut and rubber are introduced to India by. We may think that these crops are in India, but they are not of Indian origin. They were introduced by whom? Portuguese. The answer is Portuguese. Portuguese have introduced these crops into our India. So the next question is IRDP was started in the year. IRDP is nothing but Integrated Rural Development Program. So this Integrated Rural Development Program, దీని గురించి discussions 1976 లో జరిగాయి, but it was implemented in the year 1978. So you need to focus on this, whether ఆ క్వశ్చన్ ఎలా అడుగుతున్నారు అనే దాన్ని బట్టి మీరు ఆన్సర్ పెట్టాలన్నమాట. So coming to the next important topic, dryland agriculture and soil moisture conservation. So in our academy we have covered lot of dryland agricultural aspects, important aspects such as drought and soil moisture conservation, such as a lot of soil moisture conservations are available, such as agronomic measures and other agroastrological measures, forestry measures. All the details regarding these aspects were fully covered in our lecture series. So if we see the question, which among the following is considered as self-tilled soil? So which among the following is considered as self-tilled soil? సో దీనికి ఆన్సర్ ఏంటంటే ఎవరన్నా ఫస్ట్ చూడంగానే దే విల్ టిక్ బ్లాక్ సాయిల్. సో వై ఇట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్, వై బ్లాక్ సాయిల్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ సెల్ఫ్ టిల్డ్ సాయిల్. దిస్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ ఈస్ బికాస్ డ్యూరింగ్ సమ్మర్ దీస్ బ్లాక్ సాయిల్ డెవలప్ క్రాక్స్, క్లాడ్స్గా డివైడ్ అవుతాయి. అది అయిపోయిన తర్వాత వర్షం వచ్చిన తర్వాత then it becomes very easy for the ploughing. That's why it is called as self tilled soil. సో ఈ క్వశ్చన్ చూడంగానే ఆన్సర్ తెలిసిన వాళ్ళు బ్లాక్ సాయిల్ అని ఇక్కడే టిక్ పెడతారు. బట్ యూ నీడ్ టు సీ వెదర్ బ్లాక్ సాయిల్కి రిలేటెడ్గా ఇంకేదైనా ఆప్షన్ ఉందా. దెర్ ఈజ్ వట్టిజాల్. వట్టిజాల్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో కాల్డ్ యాజ్ బ్లాక్ సాయిల్. సో ద ఆన్సర్ ఈజ్ డి, ఏ అండ్ సి. ఇఫ్ యూ సీ రెడ్ సాయిల్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో కాల్డ్ యాజ్ ఆల్ఫిజాల్స్. సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద మేజర్ ప్రాబ్లమ్ రిగార్డింగ్ దీస్ బ్లాక్ సాయిల్స్? Hard pans. So hard pans is the major problem regarding these black soils. And regarding the red soils, development of soil crust, presence of soil crust on the surface is the major problem regarding these red soils in case of dryland areas. The next question is, long rows of trees planted for protection of crops against desiccating winds are called as. So you may think that both windbreaks and shelter belts, but it is not so. The answer is shelter belt only, because windbreaks are any structures. They might not be trees ayi undakapovachu, edaina structures for the protection of crops against desiccating winds నుంచి క్రాప్ని ప్రొటెక్ట్ చేయడానికి ఏదైనా స్ట్రక్చర్స్ వాడితే దాన్ని విండ్ బ్రేక్స్ అని అంటాం. కానీ ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ షెల్టర్ బెల్ట్స్, లాంగ్ రోస్ ఆఫ్ ట్రీస్ లాంగ్ రోస్లో ట్రీస్ని వాడతాము అండ్ మోర్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ రోస్, ఆ రోస్ కూడా చాలా ఎక్కువ ఉంటాయి అన్నమాట. సో అలా స్పెసిఫిక్గా అడిగినప్పుడు వీ నీడ్ టు టిక్ షెల్టర్ బెల్ట్స్. సో దీస్ థింగ్స్ యూ నీడ్ టు బీ థరవ్. And the next question is, which type of mulching prolong the benefit of subsoiling in coffee gardens? So we have discussed regarding this subsoiler in a lecture called farm implements in our Smart Agri Academy. So we have discussed a lot regarding this subsoiling. So which type of mulching prolong the benefit of subsoiling in these coffee gardens? So in coffee gardens, the answer is vertical mulch. So in coffee gardens, if this is the slope, we will be digging the pits and we are storing the organic matter in these pits, so that whatever the water that is going off as waste along with soil gets infiltrated into this. So this is called as vertical mulch. If we see the benefits of, so this dust mulch is suitable for black soils. So for polythene mulch, these are of two types, white, another one is black. Black polythene mulch is suitable during winter season and white polythene mulch is suitable during summer season. The next question is, the herbicide that is used as stomatal closing type of anti-transparent at low concentrations is. So here there are two different stomatal closing type of anti-transparent here. One is PMA and atrazine. But the question asked here is a herbicide that is used as stomatal closing type of anti-transparent at low concentrations is. So among this PMA and atrazine, this is the herbicide. So the answer is atrazine. If the question is fungicide, question ganaka ఏ ఫంగిసైడ్ని స్టొమాటల్ క్లోజింగ్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ యాంటీ ట్రాన్స్పరెంట్గా వాడతారు అంటే, then we have to take phenyl mercuric acetate. Let us see the next question. The widths of broad beds and furrows are. This is called as broad bed furrow. The widths of broad bed furrows are. It is వెంటనే చూసి ఎవరైనా 1.05 meters and 0.45 meters అని పెడతారు. బట్ హియర్ there is a conversion 105 centimeters and 45 centimeters. So units కూడా చూసుకోవాలన్నమాట. Then the answer is both B and C. So coming to this BBF, this broadbed furrow method, this method was given by a famous institute called ICRISAT. It is located at Hyderabad. So this ECRISAT mostly works on 6 mandate crops. It is a very important bit. What are the mandate crops of ECRISAT? So, or which among the following are not a mandate crop of ECRISAT? Ila adagochu. They are chickpea, foxtail millet, finger millet, groundnut, sorghum, pearl millet, and PGNP. So these are the mandate crops of ECRISAT. So ECRISAT internationally works on these 6 mandate crops. The next question is, runoff induction is needed for the collection of water in. So arid regions are semi-arida, humida, subhumida. So in case of arid regions, there is a need to induce runoff induction. We need to induce runoff so that we can collect water. In case of semi-arid regions, whatever the excess water is there, that we are going to store. But in case of arid regions, we need to induce runoff. We need to facilitate this runoff. Runoff ni facilitate chesi store cheskovali. But that is not needed in case of semi-arid regions. Whatever the excess rainwater is there, that we can store here. So the next question is, which of the following is not related to drought tolerance? So we have discussed regarding this drought adaptation strategies of different crops in our lecture called dryland farming. So in that lecture we have discussed regarding all these strategies. Eppudu plants ఏ strategies వాడతాయి, examples ఏంటి అనేది మనం చూసాం. If you can see drought tolerance, so drought resistance mechanism is of 2 kinds. One is drought avoidance, another one is drought tolerance. So ikkada adigindi drought tolerance annamata. Ee drought avoidance lo there are 2 mechanisms. One is water savers, another one is water spenders. This drought tolerance mechanism include high degree tolerance and mitigating stress. So ikkada water savers untayi, ikkada water spenders untayi. So this drought tolerance mechanisms are high degree tolerance and mitigating stress. This presence of hairs on leaves is water saving mechanism. So this comes under drought avoidance characteristic feature, but not drought tolerance mechanism. So the answer is presence of awns. It is not related to drought tolerance. So you need to be thorough with the subject matter as well, because most of the questions ee madhya gurtu pettukone vaatikanna subject meede ఎక్కువ questions అడిగే ఛాన్స్ ఎక్కువ ఉంది. So that we need to thorough with subject as well. So at cellular level, the main target of drought is, so the membranes. Membranes are more vulnerable to high temperatures. So whenever there is eppudaina temperature periginappudu, the first impact vachesi cellular membranes meeda untayi. So whenever these cellular membranes break, all the cellular components get leaked. Cellular leakage antaru annamata danni. Electrolytes, solutes avanni bayitiki vachestayi. Later the cells will die, leading to the wilting symptoms and further death of the plant. So coming to the next question, which among the following is true? So 3 acres of dryland production equals to 1 hectare of irrigated land. Is it true? 1 acre of dryland production equals to 3 acres of irrigated land. Is it true? Or 3 hectares of dryland production equals to 1 hectare of irrigated area. So the answer here is 3 hectares of dryland production equals to 1 hectare of irrigated area. So దీనికి రీజన్స్, ఈ డ్రైలాండ్లో అసలు కన్స్ట్రెయింట్స్ ఏంటి, ఇవన్నీ మనం డీటెయిల్గా డ్రైలాండ్ ఫార్మింగ్లో వీ హ్యావ్ ఆల్రెడీ డిస్కస్డ్ ఇట్. So the next important question is, which among the following is true? Dryland soils are hungry. Yes, it is true. Dryland soils are thirsty. So it is also true. And the next one is, dryland soils are both thirsty and hungry. It is also true. So మనం పొరపాటున ఈ ఆప్షన్ రైట్ పెట్టే ఛాన్సెస్ ఉంటాయి. బట్ Real answer here is D, all the above, because it is not false. Dryland soils are hungry. Manam cheppukunnam. Why dryland soils are hungry? The organic matter content is very less in case of drylands. Not only that, whatever the topmost fertile soil present in drylands, it is more prone to soil erosion. That's why they are poor in soil fertility. That's why they are hungry. And we also know that, so the most important constraint in case of dryland is water. The major limitation here is water. So they are thirsty. Yes, it is true. It is also true. And it is a statement that dryland soils are both thirsty and hungry. Yes, it is also true. That's why the answer here is all the above. Coming to the next question, it is very important question. This question was repeated so many times in case of JRF and SRF, and netlo recent ga netlo kuda vachindi ee question. The question is, which among the following is an indicator of water stress and a water deficit sensor? Water stress indicator ani denini antaru and water deficit sensor ani denini antaru? So the answer is, water stress indicator is betaine. It is a hormone. Whenever there is stress, this betaine levels increases. So with increased betaine levels, we can identify that the plant is facing stress. So here ABA is called as water deficit sensor. It is also a hormone. ఇదేంటంటే గ్రోత్ రెగ్యులేటింగ్ హార్మోన్. ఇప్పుడు స్ట్రెస్ వచ్చినప్పుడు ఆల్ ద గ్రోత్ ప్రమోటింగ్ హార్మోన్స్ లెవెల్స్ తగ్గిపోతాయి అండ్ గ్రోత్ రెగ్యులేటింగ్ హార్మోన్స్ లెవెల్స్ పెరుగుతాయి. అంటే లైక్ ఏబిఏ, ఇథిలిన్, వీటి కంటెంట్ పెరుగుతుందన్నమాట. సో దట్ ఇట్ ఇండికేట్స్ దట్ ద ప్లాంట్ ఈస్ ఫేసింగ్ స్ట్రెస్. Coming to the next question, invisible drought. Invisible drought can be seen in case of which areas? Is it arid or semi-arid, humid or deserts? I have detailedly described about this drought classification. So if you see the drought classification, there is permanent drought, seasonal drought, contingent drought, and invisible drought. So this permanent drought occurs in arid regions. అక్కడ ఎప్పుడు డ్రాట్ క్లైమేటే ఉంటుందన్నమాట. అండ్ ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ సీజనల్ డ్రాట్, దిస్ అక్కర్స్ డ్యూరింగ్ వన్ పర్టికులర్ సీజన్. అండ్ ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ కంటింజెంట్ డ్రాట్, అనుకోకుండా సడన్గా అబ్నార్మల్ ఫెయిల్యూర్ ఆఫ్ రెయిన్ఫాల్ ఉన్నప్పుడు వచ్చేది మనకి కంటింజెంట్ డ్రాట్. అండ్ ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ ఇన్విజిబుల్ డ్రాట్ ఎప్పుడు వస్తుందంటే, వెన్ ఎవర్ ద ప్రెసిపిటేషన్ ఈజ్ లెస్ దాన్ evapotranspiration in that particular area, then we call it as invisible drought. So this kind of invisible drought occurs in humid regions. So the answer is C. Next question is, which among the following is not a mid-season correction? So దీని గురించి మనం చెప్పుకున్నాం. మిడ్ సీజన్ కరెక్షన్స్ అంటే ఏంటి, ఎప్పుడు ఈ మిడ్ సీజన్ కరెక్షన్స్ని అప్లై చేస్తాం మనం. సో జనరల్లీ దీస్ మిడ్ సీజన్ కరెక్షన్స్ విల్ అప్లై డ్యూరింగ్ డ్రై స్పెల్స్. సో వాట్ ఆర్ డ్రై స్పెల్స్? సో దీస్ డ్రై స్పెల్స్ ఆర్ ద రిజల్టెంట్ ఆఫ్ అబరెంట్ మాన్సూన్ బిహేవియర్. సో ఈ డ్రై స్పెల్స్ ఉన్నప్పుడు వీ విల్ గో ఫర్ దిస్ మిడ్ సీజన్ కరెక్షన్స్. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ఏ మిడ్ సీజన్ కరెక్షన్. రెటూనింగ్, దిస్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో ఏ మిడ్ సీజన్ కరెక్షన్, దిస్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో మిడ్ సీజన్ కరెక్షన్, బట్ నాట్ వీడింగ్. Weeding is not at all a mid-season correction. So the next question is, which among the following comes under the in situ moisture conservation practices? In situ moisture conservation practices ante rainfall ekkadaithe padinదో akkade danni store cheyadam annamata. In situ moisture conservation practices. So ridge and furrow, dead furrows, tide ridging, broadbed furrows, compartmental bunding, scooping, zinc terracing, these are all come under in situ moisture conservation practices. So the answer is all the above. The next very important question is, which tree is often called as water guzzling alien and not much recommended for dryland areas? If we see Prosopis cinerea is suitable for dryland areas, మనం చెప్పుకున్నాం ఏ ట్రీ స్పీసెస్ లెస్ దాన్ 500 mm దగ్గర సూట్ అయ్యాయి, మోర్ దాన్ 500 mm దగ్గర ఏవి సూట్ అవుతాయి, ఏ ట్రీ స్పీసెస్ సూట్ కావు అనేది మనం ఆల్రెడీ డిస్కస్ చేసాం. Here if we see, the answer is eucalyptus. Acacia we can use, Prosopis julifera you can use in drylands, but not eucalyptus. Eucalyptus అనేది with its deep root system, it declines the water table. So it is not fit for dryland areas. So the next question is, which among the following is a grass? So Andropogon is a grass, Dichanthium annulatum is a grass. So both A and C. This Styloxanthus hemata is a legume. So మనం చెప్పుకున్నాం agrostological measures. Agrostological measures of soil and water conservation లో Cenchrus ciliaris plus Styloxanthus hemata. ఇది బెస్ట్ కాంబినేషన్ అని నేను చెప్పుకున్నాను అనమాట. దిస్ ఈజ్ ఎ గ్రాస్ అండ్ దిస్ ఈజ్ ఎ లెగ్యూమ్. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ఇంపార్టెంట్, వీ నీడ్ టు రిమెంబర్. సో విచ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ ఈజ్ ట్రూ ఫర్ కన్జర్వేషన్ tillage? So poor seed germination, yes, in case of conservation tillage, since we are not going for any ploughing operation, so there will be poor seed germination. And requires special planting equipment, yes, it requires special planting equipment. Yesterday we have discussed regarding sweep cultivator gurinchi cheppukunnam, and we have discussed about happy seeder. So these are special equipment. Ivi special equipment anamata for completely meant for conservation agriculture. The next one is requires high doses of nitrogen fertilizers. Yes. So since the C/N ratio in case of conservation tillage is more because of the presence of more number of stubbles, there will be immobilization. Nitrogen availability అనేది తగ్గిద్ది అనమాట. సో nitrogen deficiency వచ్చే ఛాన్సెస్ ఉన్నాయి. సో we need to apply more amount of nitrogen in case of this conservation tillage. So the answer is all the above. Next question is, the most efficient intercropping system for Telangana region is? So all the options given here are most suitable intercropping systems for Telangana region. So out of these, sorghum plus peas and pea in the ratio of 2:1 is considered as the most efficient intercropping system. So 2 rows of sorghum and 1 row of peas and pea, followed by 2 rows of sorghum. Peas and pea, sorghum. So this is the most efficient intercropping system for Telangana region. The next question is, CREDA was established in the year. So CREDA is established in the year during 1985. In 1972, ECRISAT was established. And in 1970, ACRIPDA, All India Coordinated Research Project on Dryland Agriculture. And in 1923, first Dryland Research Center was established in Manjri, Pune. So you need to be thorough with all the numericals. So this is next important topic, organic farming and sustainable agriculture. So ee topic gurinchi we have 2 lecture videos. So please go through them in order to know about all the current happening things and all. So the first question is, a holistic production management system that avoids the use of synthetic fertilizers and pesticides and genetically modified organisms. So which production management system avoids use of synthetic fertilizers and pesticides and genetically modified organisms? It also avoids genetically modified organisms, minimizes pollution of air, soil and water, and optimizes the health and productivity of plants, animals and people. The answer here is organic agriculture. So this is the definition of organic agriculture. So next question is Masanobu Fukuoka. He explained the concept of natural farming in his book called The One Straw Revolution. So the One Straw Revolution was the book written by Masanobu Fukuoka, in which he explained regarding his concept natural farming. Most of the people may think that natural farming is the concept of Subhash Palekar, but his concept is ZBNF. Zero budget natural farming is the concept of Subhash Palekar, but this natural farming concept was of Masanobu Fukuoka. Coming to the next book, Horse Hoeing Husbandry. This horse hoeing husbandry was written by Jethro Tull. In this book, he coined two words called tillage and weed. So the next book, Look to the Land. This book was written by Lord Northbourne. He is the one who coined the term organic farming. The term organic farming was coined by Lord Northbourne in his book Look to the Land. The term organic was coined by Rodale, whereas organic farming was used by Lord Northbourne. And another book, An Agriculture Testament. This was coined by An Agriculture Testament. This is a book. This was written by Albert Howard. Howard is considered as father of organic agriculture. So the next question is, globally highest number of organic producers are from which country? So ఎక్కువ మంది organic growers ఏ country లో ఉన్నారు? So the answer is India. India has more number of organic producers. If you see Australia, highest area under organic farming is in Australia. And for USA is the dominant market in organic farming. And Denmark has highest per capita consumption. Per capita consumption of organic products is more in case of Denmark. The first organic state in India is Sikkim. Sikkim is the answer. First organic state in India is Sikkim, whereas Mizoram is the first state to have an act regarding this organic farming. Organic farming కోసం వాళ్ళు ఒక యాక్ట్ ని రూపొందించుకున్నారన్నమాట. And Madhya Pradesh is having highest area under this organic agriculture. And regarding Telangana, all the area and production details were given in the lecture. So next one is, what is the logo for organic products? What is the logo for organic products in India? The logo is India Organic. India Organic is the logo. Organic products మీద India Organic అనే logo ఉంటదన్నమాట. So next, product of organic agriculture అనే logo ఎప్పుడు వాడతాం? So whenever the organic product is single ingredient, ఒక single ingredient మాత్రమే ఉంటే ఆ product లో, then we will use that label called product of organic agriculture. Product of organic agriculture. ఇప్పుడు 100% certified organic అని ఎప్పుడు వాడతామంటే, whenever the product is a mix of ingredients. If a particular product is made up of mix of ingredients and all the ingredients are 100% organic, then we will call it as 100% certified organic. And in case of this organic farming, we cannot use label GM free or GE free. GE free, genetically modified organism. My product is free of genetically modified organisms అనే labeling అనేది or logo అనేది ఉండకూడదు అన్నమాట. Next question is, which among the following is true about vermicomposting? Vermi technology is the combination of vermiculture and vermicomposting. So vermiculture ante it is rearing of earthworms. Vermicomposting is making compost out of it. So yes, vermi technology is a combination of vermiculture as well as vermicomposting. The next one is the turnover of compost is 75%. Yes, it is also true. This is true and this is also true. If you take 100 kgs of FIM, it turns into 75 kgs of vermicompost. Yes, it is true. Next one, epigeeks are important in vermicomposting. Yes, epigeeks are surface feeders, ante surface meeda feed ayyevi. So Eisenia foetida is an example of epigeek. Surface meede feed avutadi annamata. Andukane pit size eppudaina 2 feet kanna ekku depth undakudadu, since it feed on the surface. Which among the following is true for concentrated organic manures? Concentrated organic manures ante, so there are two kinds of manures as we discussed. One is bulky organic manure, another one is concentrated organic manure. So let us see, these are known as organic nitrogenous fertilizers. Yes, concentrated organic manures are also called as organic nitrogenous fertilizers. They contain high amount of nitrogen. Yes, it is true. Both edible and non-edible oil cakes can be used as manures. Yes, it is true. And decorticated safflower cake has highest nitrogen content. Yes, among all the concentrated organic manures, this decorticated safflower cake has highest amount of nitrogen. Yes, all the above. The answer is all the above. The next question is successful management of resources. Management of resources for agriculture to satisfy changing human needs while maintaining or enhancing the natural resource base and avoiding environmental degradation is sustainable agriculture. So this is the definition. So all the human needs are satisfied but not at the cost of depleting the natural resources. The next question is sustainable agricultural movement. Sustainable agricultural movement was started in the year, it is 1981. In 1981, this sustainable agricultural movement was started. Sustainable index, it was given by Gomez. Sustainable index must be dash to call a system sustainable one. ఒక ఫామ్ని లేకపోతే ఒక సిస్టమ్ని సస్టైనబుల్ అని అనాలంటే we must have a sustainable index of more than 1. If the sustainable index is more than 1, then we call that particular system as a sustainable one. Coming to the next important topic, that is integrated farming system. So the principles and practices of cropping and their interaction with farm resources is called as cropping system. So the definition of cropping system is it includes the principles and practices of cropping. Crops వాటి farm resources తో ఎలా interact అవుతున్నాయి అని చూడడమే cropping system. But in case of farming system, so what is a farming system? Farming system is integration of crops, livestock, fisheries and several other enterprises, so that they will interact with each other and one output of one enterprise becomes input for another resource, another enterprise, together leading to profitability. Profitability is the major objective here. Profitability is the major objective in case of farming system. Coming to cropping pattern is nothing but yearly sequence of growing crops in a particular region. So that is cropping pattern. So the next question is growing of 2 or more crops simultaneously on the same piece of land with no distinct row arrangement is called as mixed cropping. So if it is with distinct row arrangement, ante crops ni with specific row arrangement unte ganaka, then we can call it as intercropping. If it is not so, it is mixed cropping. So the major aim of intercropping is profit whereas in case of mixed cropping it is subsistence. ఒక ఇన్సూరెన్స్ లాగా పనికొస్తుంది అనమాట. దట్ ఈస్ ద డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ ఇంటర్ క్రాపింగ్ అండ్ మిక్స్డ్ క్రాపింగ్. అండ్ క్రాపింగ్ సిస్టమ్, ఫార్మింగ్ సిస్టమ్ డెఫినేషన్స్ ఆల్రెడీ చూసాం మనం. సో ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ ఆఫ్ డిఫరెంట్ ఇంటరాక్టింగ్ ఎంటర్ప్రైజెస్ విత్ ద ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాఫిటబిలిటీ అండ్ సస్టైనబిలిటీ అండ్ సబ్సిస్టెన్స్ ఏంటి? సో ప్రాఫిటబిలిటీ అంటే దిస్ ఈజ్ ఫార్మింగ్ సిస్టమ్, whereas subsistence means it is mixed farming, as I have said earlier. The next question is, more than 50% of produce is for sale. So more than 50% of the produce is for sale in case of commercialized farming. So what are the products that we are going to produce in a farm? If we are selling them to an extent of more than 50%, then we can call it as commercialized farming. For subsistence farming, there is no question of sale. Sale anedi undadanamata. In case of partly commercialized farming, greater than 50% of the produce is for family needs. Then we call it as partly commercialized farming. The next question is, the farm in which 50% or more income of the total crop is derived from a single crop. It means if a farmer is having two enterprises, one is he grows crops and he have livestock. If he derives 80% of his income from crops and just 20% income from livestock, then it is called as specialized farming. It means more than 50% of the income he is obtaining from a single enterprise. It is called as specialized farming. And in case of diversified farming, if a farmer is called as a diversified farmer when he has several enterprises from which no single enterprise provide 50% of the income. So let us say 40% he gets income from crops, from livestock, from fisheries, he gets 20%, he gets 40%. So no single enterprise is producing, he is obtaining more than 50%. Then this we can call it as diversified farming. So that is the difference between specialized farming and diversified farming.